waiting for RX to kind of hop in over here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So today, guys, are kind of our Instagram seminar. We'll be discussing exactly how to get started with Instagram, scaling up, and also kind of going from there. I am waiting for the last couple people to kind of hop in here, Robert and RJS. All right, there we go. I think Robert should be joining in now. Accept. All right. Yo,
going?
What's going on, bro?
How are you, man?
Chilling. So, guys, this is I'll let RJ. Brief introduction, man. Kind of a bit about yourself. What you do, and kind of I guess we'll go from there.
Yep. So, hi. I'm the guy that does a lot of the Instagram giveaways you see online. If you ever see just a picture of the shoe with the big word "free" above it, 9 out of 10 times it's gonna be me. Mm-hmm. I own rjgives. You guys may have seen my TikTok. I make a lot of finance TikToks. And yeah, I'm just a big social media guy. I got into social media before I started reselling sneakers. So I just kind of use those two techniques just to help my pages grow. And I'd love to share some of those tips with you guys today. So
yeah, exactly. So we are waiting for the last guy to kind of hop in. But, RJ, so you obviously kind of really pushed the social media side of sneakers. And, how has kind of social media really helped you with reselling? Yo, what's up, RJ? I mean, what's up, RX?
How's it going?
RX and RJ.
Yeah, I would say Instagram is
huge
in the sense that,
yeah, so guys, RX, he's the manager of Reselling as well. So we'll kind of be discussing kind of how he's used Instagram to help scale up, and also how RJ kind of, is going to help you guys scale up and how you kind of a plan. So I guess first things first, RX, you obviously run prescription kicks, kind of sneaker page. Kind of how has Instagram really helped you scale up? Like, what are the benefits for Instagram for reselling sneakers? And I'll obviously RJ answer the question as well. We'll go from there.
For sure, yeah. I would say Instagram is huge in the sense that, it drives traffic to your page, to your business.
Yeah.
Really lets people know what you're doing and everything. I feel like utilizing Reels nowadays is really huge because you can really pull from, either the popular page or other sorts of traffic just to your page in terms of like getting people to know about your business and whatnot. But it's been pretty good doing that through Instagram. I know RJ obviously knows a lot more in the sense of TikTok and everything. And that's something that I want to know more of. So
awesome.
Let him know.
Great. So RJ, you want to tell me a bit about kind of how TikTok works, how Instagram works in the sneakers, and kind of how you manage to use like Instagram to scale your business up and all kinds of regards in that sense?
Yeah, so I guess one of the biggest takeaways I've had on Instagram and reselling is, one, the biggest obvious, if you get paid through Instagram, sell a shoe on Instagram, there's no fees, and that's just amazing in itself. You make an extra 10 to 15% profit on every pair, which is just beautiful, but also in the sense that it really makes it more personalized. Now, I don't know where everyone wants to go with reselling. I'm sure everyone wants to get to the point where they can do it as their full-time career or at least have a very solid side hustle. And with the Instagram comes just a whole aspect of how you can become your own entity. So now, if you really can get it up there, you can think, well, people, when they want shoes, they can, instead of going, oh, let me just search for them online on GOAT, if you have a big enough page and you can really get to that respected size, people will just, and of course, if you treat your customers correctly, people are just going to be like, oh, so-and-so sold me shoes in the past. He's been always good to me. Let me go to his page first before I go to GOAT. And then, like I said, no fees. And then, boom, easy 10% returning customers. It's just, once you get it flowing, it's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah, exactly. And, RJ makes a good point there, in terms of reoccurring customers, right? Because on ROI-wise, it is easier to sell to a past customer or, already, in the system customer versus a new customer to convert through your funnels, through your systems, right? That applies to sneakers, streetwear, whatever you're selling, selling a course, like Elite Bricks, I have the best time, converting people who are, already successful clients, success stories versus, new people. So, RJ, someone wants to get started reselling sneakers, or maybe they, want to access the market, what's kind of a good way for them to, access all these new people? Like kind of, I know you run the giveaway stuff, and that gives you all that organic traffic. You kind of want to briefly highlight, how giveaways work and kind of, what this whole new kind of, influx of followers kind of means to a page, and especially a sneaker style page.
Yeah, so I guess to give a little rundown of how my giveaways work, because I'm sure at some point all of you have at least run into, maybe not one of my giveaways, but just a giveaway in general where it's a big picture, it says free and a sneaker, and what you have to do to enter is just follow a list of accounts. And 9 out of 10 times, those are legit. Mine are always legit because they work in the sense how it's kind of I help you, you help me scenario, because everyone gets a chance to get a free shoe, and then everyone on that list of followers gets loads of organic traffic to their reselling page and their reselling page or sneaker page or clothing brand or something like that. But notice how all those giveaway posts are always on streetwear, sneaker, media pages. So all the traffic those pages are going to be getting is real, authentic followers from streetwear, sneaker, niche pages. And that's why I really think it is one of just the absolute best ways to kickstart your account. Because trust me, I've been there. The the fight from 0 to 1,000 followers is a B. It's the most difficult thing you'll ever do in your life, and I hated doing it every single time. But these giveaways, it just shoots you up. And it's not even like it's inauthentic, like fake followers from some website, because it's a slow, steady gain. And on top of that, people are seeing your name. Whether they choose to enter the giveaway or not, say the giveaway is for a Travis Scott shoe, and someone sees your name associated with the free Travis Scott shoe, that's instant status. That's instant respect, even if you're new to the game.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, I mean, RX, you've obviously done a lot of local meetups and that kind of stuff. Does your Instagram kind of tie into local meetups and local sneaker events? That kind of builds your credibility up, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I would say social proof is like one of the biggest things of having an Instagram sneaker page. Just letting people know what you do, and the fact that you do go to these conventions, local flea markets or like swap meets or everything. Like it's super big for your page and your business.
Yeah. So with social media, like RJ said, followers are key. That's the number one thing. Having followers, having people, kind of organic traffic lead into your page. But then, how do you make a captivating page? Kind of, how do you draw them in? There are a few ways to kind of do that. I think RJRX kind of, tying the same theme here. You have to like give your audience value, right, guys? When you're running a social media page, you can't just be like you flexing your pairs, saying, "Hey guys, I have this pair, I have this pair, I have this pair." Buy this, buy this, buy this. It is about giving value back. That's kind of our intention with Instagram Lives as well. Hopping in here, talking to you guys, and help you guys understand how stuff works. The same kind of thing has to go with your page. RJ also gives value with his giveaways. RX kind of has value posts on his stuff. Hey guys, this pair, meet up over here, and you kind of understand more about sneakers. When you guys are setting your pages up, it does have to tie into that theme as well. So, I always stress, a very consistent and very, constant posting cycle. I mean, RJ, when you're running social media, that kind of stuff, you obviously are, running a TikTok page as well. Consistency in posting is key, right?
Yeah, so like to add on to what you said about the flexing, I just want to comment. I'm sure I can speak for everyone when we say we just don't like those people who post pictures of like 1,000 pairs on a drop and just like, oh, don't ask me how I got them. Like, nobody likes that guy. That doesn't bring people to you. If anything, that pushes people away. And I just will never understand the concept of that, because if you really want to be respected on Instagram, if you just put out content, like Vic said, that genuinely helps people, informs people, and don't be afraid to show off. If you have a nice, cool vintage pair or whatever that you like, feel free to post the reel, because I love looking at cool shoes, but it's a different thing than flexing and showing off and providing value simultaneously. Because I've seen people who have posted videos of like early sneakers, highlighting it, showing cool parts of it. Like that's informative. It gives somebody cool to look at, rather than almost making people feel bad about themselves for not copying as many pairs using the release.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, guys. When you're making these posts, they are value style posts. You want to convey the value to your customer. It is about, hey, how did I get this pair? How can you get this pair? How can you buy this pair? So like, hey, I got these pairs, not for sale, or these pairs, no one will ever touch them like this. That kind of stuff doesn't have value. It isn't how you grow your page, because your page is about, that value acquisition. And, the other thing is kind of, relaying that content to how do you hit the biggest stream? One thing that I think is very important if you guys are running Instagrams, you want to make your post quality as well. There is the big four, which we kind of stress when we bricks. I think RJ and RS both know about it. Obviously having, a good price, quality photos, a good description, and, a good title. And that applies to every single aspect of reselling, aside from StockX and GOAT, right? You don't put your pictures up on there. But, you're making an eBay listing, you're making an Instagram post. Your photos have to look good, right? You need to have a good title on your post, a good caption, actionable, and that kind of stuff makes a difference. So, I mean, one thing that I think I've told RJ used to kind of, really work with me pretty closely in Elite Bricks to kind of, figure out how to, resell sneakers more effectively. And, one thing we discussed, RJ, was, having an actionable caption, right? When you put a shoe up, when you put a photo up on your Instagram, having that photo that says, hey, this shoe, have a value acquisition in the comments, and then use hashtags, reshare your story. Guys, if you're putting posts up, photos, reels, whatever it is, that kind of stuff has to go on your stories, polls. I mean, RJ, you want to kind of briefly hit about how polls work and, getting that kind of engagement into your page and like what that kind of means for people who are, trying to grow their Instagram.
Yeah, so polls are a huge factor when it comes to growing engagement and keeping followers around, keeping a community. Yeah. Because, I mean, think about it. If someone posts on their feed once a week, okay, you see it, like their post once a week, whatever. But if they have something on their story every day that you can interact with. You can give your opinion. People can give their opinion. They can almost like just make their voice heard, really actually become part of the page. It feels so much more personalized. It gets people to come back. They just get involved. Like if somebody posts a question poll on their story, even though it's some silly little thing, even I think it just subconsciously do it. If I vote, give my opinion, I just feel more attracted to go back to that page one more time. Be like, this guy's asking for his followers' opinions. He's not just some Joe Schmo posting the newest drop,
Yeah,
hoping somebody buys on
just
Instagram. He
posting them
cares
up
about his
and
community.
utilizing
He wants them to
hashtags
come
and
back.
definitely
He
getting
wants
the
to
page out there
build a
before
sense
you
of
page is
community,
huge.
not just
Just
kind
getting
of
your name
be
out there and
there
everything.
with followers.
Yeah, exactly. And RX, you run the kind of our Hype Station page as well. I know you put a lot of these posts up showing latest releases, this kind of stuff. We always have those sliders, and that really kind of, in your opinion, is like that captivates the viewers, right? Like it gets engagement, people like that kind of stuff, and it boosts our story views up as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Just posting them up and utilizing hashtags and definitely getting the page out there to the For You page is huge. Just getting your name out there and everything.
Exactly, guys. And, it all does tie to each other. If you put your post on your story and you put your story, obviously, the same kind of thing on your post, it is that cyclical effect, right? How do I get more views on stuff? And, my number one piece of advice, guys, is Reels. I've obviously RJ's experienced social media as well, so is RX, but I've experimented a bunch with, how do I get more followers on my page? And, it really does come to making viral Reels. And it is less hard than you think it is. I think we had a Reel RX that hit like 5 or 6K likes, the Nike Insta Reel.
Oh, yeah,
that was
crazy.
Yeah, we knew it was good because we had a bunch of like old like Chads and Jeffries like in our content, like raging at us, like, oh, these shoes aren't. They are like, they were like, and that's how guys. Any sort of engagement is good for you. If you put a photo up, you're like, here's my in-store trip, and you kind of film how we film it. That is what's interesting content. You put a soundtrack on there. People either like the content or they like the soundtrack. It doesn't really matter, right? That brings them in. They're gonna keep. Oh, I like that song. I'm gonna keep watching that video. Or oh, that's a cool Jordan 1. I'm gonna see what all the Jordan 1s they have, right? And that's how you keep someone as because you want to increase your watch time, right? You want to get those comments, you want to get those likes, and if you make I use the word controversial carefully. If you want to make kind of content that's a bit maybe slightly oh wow, they had patent grade schools at the Nike outlet, they had Red Thunders at the factory store. People are like, oh, did they really have those, or where is this, and that kind of stuff. You interact with your comments, you get more traction in your comments, and that's important to kind of grow your page up. If you have a dead post, no hashtags, no comments, no likes, I mean, nothing on the story, that kind of stuff doesn't really suit yourself. So I mean, another kind of critical part of that is hashtags. So I mean, RJ, do you kind of want to briefly hit on hashtags, how hashtags work, and like their importance in posts and social media?
Yeah, so I guess to add on to what you said, so hashtags, it's a tricky subject, honestly. I've done a lot with TikTok and Instagram, and I really don't even fully understand hashtags. It's a very confusing thing. The best way I can explain it, in a sense, is, so say your account about sneakers. Obviously, you want to reach people with sneakers, and I know nobody goes into really like the Instagram search bar, types in sneaker pictures, and then scrolls through the hashtag thing. Like that's a little silly. But what hashtags do is, every time you get a post, let's say your average like amount is 300, but then say for some reason one of your posts starts taking off, so now one of them's at 400, 500. So Instagram is like, okay, well, we have to show this post to more people because it's getting a lot of likes. Clearly people like it. So it's not just going to show it to random people. It's going to show it to people who commonly like posts in the hashtag you put in the description. So don't flood your description with hashtags because that's silly and it annoys people. It's best to make a comment on the bottom of your post, just write the word tags, and then reply to that comment. And I believe the number is 30. You can do at most 30 hashtags on your post in that comment description. So it may not seem like it's doing anything, but once a post starts gaining traction, they help it get to the right people. And that applies for Reels and TikTok especially.
Yeah, right. And so, if you guys kind of check Elite Rick's posts out, we obviously have a very distinct, like I use the same set of captions and Reels hashtags for every single post because I'm like, hey, this is a Nike outlet reel. I'm gonna use hashtag Nike outlet, hashtag MJ23. I know this particular section I want to focus on. So it is kind of developing that list of hashtags you want to hit, and then you kind of hit the explore page, which is where you really go viral, guys. If you get enough traction, the goal is to hit the explore page because when you're scrolling through Instagram, you hit the search feature, you press the reel you like, you start scrolling. That's the kind of stuff that you aren't organically seeing because you follow them, but it's coming up because they're either trending, they have enough likes, or the Instagram algorithm is pushing them up. That's where you really get that kind of new conversions, right? and there are obviously ways to grow it itself. RJ, I know you mentioned giveaways and that kind of stuff. So if people want to, sell more shoes on Instagram, is that kind of a good way to, bring in new customers, or how does that work?
So yeah, the giveaways really. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh my god, yeah, the giveaways are the best thing ever because I do them. But like, they really are personally what I think the most effective way to start out a social media page, because I've started out many social media pages, and now that I know these are a thing, like I would have killed to have them in the past, because people don't. It's a weird concept because once you get to like the even the 2-3 thousand follower mark, it is just a whole different change in social proof. Because I know I've been there. Like, no matter how many posts somebody has in their page, even if they have like 300 followers, I think it's a subconscious thing. I can't take them as seriously as someone who has, say, even like 4,000 followers, because 4,000 followers in my mind, while yes, you can buy them, it just shows just an unprecedented, just social proof that's really hard to remake in any other aspect, no matter how many flexing pictures you have. Because follower numbers is just, it's almost essentially, I know there's reference pages, but reference posts, but it's almost like just a review of someone following, saying like, I support this account, I like what they do, and they're authentic and real. And it's just such a huge thing, because if you get those followers in your niche too, it doesn't matter if you have 3 recurring customers, because 3 recurring customers is better than 10 random customers who are the most annoying people to work with ever. If you have 3 people come back to you consistently, it's the best thing in the world. And you can get those through targeted growth campaigns. Because when you're starting out, you're just scraping at the bottom. Really, anyone who follows you, you're just will happily take. It could be one of the most random accounts, one of those spam fake accounts. But with the targeted growth campaigns, you only get followed. You know they're real people because they're real people entering the giveaway, and you know they're targeted because they're only coming from streetwear sneaker pages. So
it's huge for your business.
And that kind of is an overlapping sector, guys.
People love free stuff.
People are
So
buying
if
your
you do that
sneakers. They
favor,
also
you
kind
give
of
away
usually
free
are in the
shoe,
supermarket as well.
comment, that
So
drives
when
the
you appeal to both
engagement
of
up, it
those, you
drives the
do
traffic up to
get
your
that,
page. So I noticed,
while you have
it took
traffic
me
to your
about
page,
a year to get to
RX,
the
you kind
first
of have
1,000 and
subscription
whatnot.
kicks. How
But
long did
because
it
of
take you
that,
to kind of get where
it's
you are
a
right
lot
now?
easier
Like, how was
to
your
sell
growth?
shoes
And like,
locally because,
did you notice
like you
more
said,
sales
it's
the
that
more
social
followers
proof.
you got, or
People
kind
can
of how
put
did that work?
a face to the
Yeah,
profile.
definitely.
They
I
know
noticed
you're
with a
not a
lot of
scammer.
story
They
sales
know
and
your
utilizing a lot of
referrals are
giveaways, like
legit.
RJ said, it's huge for your business. You
It
know what I mean?
all ties into the business.
People
and
love free
everything.
stuff, so if you do that thing where you give away a free shoe, like, comment, it drives the engagement up, it drives the traffic up to your page. So I noticed, it took me about a year to get to the first 1,000 and whatnot. But because of that, it's a lot easier to sell shoes locally because, like you said, it's that social proof. People can put a face to the profile. They know you're not a scammer. They know your referrals are legit. Like it all ties into the business and everything. So
yeah, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but just another thing that the giveaways provide is, I'm sure everybody wants to give back to their community and be able to provide a giveaway. And these giveaways allow people who don't have like $500 to blow on a insane pair of dunks to give away for free to hop in and do it with me. Like, I had pages who had 50 followers giving away a pair of Travis Scotts. It's just a really good way to give back to your community if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to become serious about reselling and actually build a community.
And that's what you get, guys. Follow for follow, share my posts. That kind of stuff is important because reselling isn't about having the best pairs, it's about having the connections and having the network, right? If I can have 5 great pairs, if I have no customers, it doesn't matter what I have. Like, obviously, for lowest ask on StockX, lowest ask on Goat, take 10% fees. I'm not really making that much bread, right? But if I can sell a Off-White 2 for $1,200 on my Instagram versus $12 minus 10% fees, I'm losing over $100, right? So if I make those sales on Instagram, I have those customers who are loyal to me and those brand awareness and that level of credibility. That's kind of where value comes in, right? And I think it's important to understand the importance of interacting with your community, guys. Talking to your followers. I think one thing that I've seen in these pages doing, Elite Bricks obviously really helps kind of you building your Instagrams up. We are giving away very superficial value on here maybe, but the thing is it is a lot more in depth. I mean, RJ, you obviously kind of in our RJ was a member of Elite Bricks and still is. And, you've kind of seen how we work and the value gained from kind of reselling and you obviously knew about your Instagram stuff, but having access to the shoes as well, that probably kind of amplify what you already knew about social media, right?
Yeah, so I mean, Elite Bricks, it kind of just like sealed the deal for me because all my time really was put into just understanding social media, and I don't know why, I was just lost when it came to reselling. It scrambled my brain, honestly. I tried to do bots. I hated every moment of it. I had no idea. I lost money. But like once I joined Elite Bricks, it just kind of changed my whole mindset because Vic, you were kind enough to kind of give me a little help in the beginning, show me what's what for a couple minutes, and that helped tremendously because that quick little 3-minute explanation you gave me of what everything is, it just allowed me to do like 20 minutes of research on my own, and I pretty much fully understood how everything works. And you have a bunch of great guys in there who give many links a day, and honestly, they're really all profitable. You can hop in the server any time of the day. I don't think I've ever had a moment where more than 30 minutes has gone by and I have not seen a new link. So really, any time of day, if you're there, if you're, I can't think of the word right now, but if you really want it, like if you're trying and doing your best, Elite Bricks, and you just can't seem to make ends meet, Elite Bricks is like the final piece of the puzzle. It's the final tool that you need to really just skyrocket, because that's what I've done.
Yeah, and that's kind of what RJ's saying, and kind of what RX said in the past as well. You know, guys, where you are right now versus where you want to be, the thing that kind of works best is coaching, you know. So one thing that we stress a lot, you know, whether it's through social media coaching or, you know, Elite Bricks now obviously is kind of running this giveaway as well. We're going to be doing to help grow you. What is it, RJ, around like 2,500 new followers is the minimum versus about 3,000?
So my next giveaway campaign, I'm partnered with some guy. He has 1 million followers, streetwear network. It is insane, and we're going to be promoting. I'm not even exaggerating, on legitimately every sneaker streetwear page there is on Instagram pretty much that has over like 50,000 followers. It's a guaranteed growth of 2,500 followers, 100% all authentic, guaranteed growth. But it's more expected that you're going to gain around 3,100 to 3,200 depending on how big your account is already.
Yeah.
But still, like Vic mentioned earlier, if you really want to become serious about this reselling, and you really just are kind of looking, I don't want to say for your first lucky break, but like looking for your first door opening, really to get your foot in there, to get a solid start, a solid foundation, this is the way to go, because Elite Bricks can help you with everything you need to know about reselling plus more. And then I can get your account out there. Instant social proof. I don't want to say instant respect, but honestly almost instant respect from the page. And in my giveaways throughout the week as I go, I give out loads of tips on how to increase engagement, how to make proper posts, how to make proper polls. I even have little templates that I shoot out sometimes. And I don't know how big everyone here is into TikTok, but I have a pretty sizable TikTok page myself, and I actually wrote up a little guide on Docs. It's like 5 pages long. That's literally every tip I use to grow my TikTok to where it is. And I give that out for free also for everyone who joins it, who chooses to purchase an Instagram growth slot with me. So
So RJ, do you want to briefly hint upon like how TikTok works, and like do you think TikTok's the kind of thing that, you know, resellers should kind of focus on if they're, you know, trying to grow their sneaker brand? Is TikTok important or is Instagram important? Like, kind of what's your stance on that?
Yeah, so as good as TikTok is, I don't want to go and say it's not important, because it is, but TikTok's more of for the individual, not necessarily for selling purposes. Because I'm sure a lot of resellers, as much, like, it's probably not the only thing you're going to want to do in your entire life involving just anything. Like maybe even you just want to get into streetwear and sneakers, that's it. But just having a strong social media presence, not proof, makes it so easy for you to just move around from niche to niche, and regardless of where you are, automatically be respected. Because, for example, like my TikTok page, it's about business, but since I have a large following, if I just start making videos about clothing brands, people are automatically going to be like, he knows what he's talking about. I respect his opinion, just because of the amount of followers I have. And it just makes it so much easier to gravitate to new interests, get into new things.
Yeah. So, I mean, RJ, like, I was just talking to RX, and, you know, we think with TikTok as well, like, does the content have to be, you know, quality, or is it more like just, like, you know, constant posts, constant value? Like, what exactly is the best direction in terms of that?
If I'm being honest, I'm doing a lot of testing myself lately, because I got out of TikTok for a bit, but I'm recently getting back into it. I haven't necessarily figured it out, but I think the best advice I can give is just obviously do videos you enjoy, because people can tell if you don't want to make a video and they're not going to watch it. And just one thing, every video, type out closed captions. That's just a whole world of difference. Type out closed captions, put them on the screen. But really, just continuously put content out there, and eventually one's going to hit. Because I've had some videos, it's broken 500,000 likes, and then I reposted it. It didn't even get 50,000 views. Like, at a certain level, it's hit or miss. but really just consistency and not making videos that are like filmed on a rock and people can see honest like you interest effort in the videos. You will go viral. I go over all of this in the little guide I give. I go over posting times, format, the duration you should have in your videos. Everything you could possibly imagine is there.
Right. Yeah. So I just have a couple questions in chat. I wanted to kind of hit them really quick. I know it's the advice guys for sure. And then briefly, Money Cut said, obviously, guys, we are kind of focusing more of an Instagram live kind of thing right now. But our main thing is, Instagram growth right now. But, that is critical to sneaker reselling. I think RJ and Arson mentioned, to make sales, to buy the shoes, we give you every single aspect of the package, That's why we're part of pages like RJ and, we work with a lot of big sneaker brands. We have our own, RX is our whole Amazon method on gating. We are brand on gating now on Nike rapidly. So it is a whole package. Reselling isn't like picking and choosing. To really truly rescale, scale your reselling business, you need to have every single aspect down, right? I mean, RX, you obviously kind of run the Amazon stuff, and sourcing that kind of stuff. You kind of think having a good Instagram, getting access to these pairs, especially kind of wholesale deals, kind of ties into Amazon a bit.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think in the sense that, if you're promoting your page and whatnot, people have that social proof as well, and they know that when you're signing through Amazon too, you can definitely advertise. Like, I believe it's a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother demographic on Instagram. Like, there's a whole, group of people that work together and try to find leads in terms of Amazon and whatnot. So I believe having an Instagram page for that is huge as well, if you want to funnel down to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it comes into sourcing, right? I mean, RX obviously, joined us as a member, is making a few thousand a month. And I think RJ, you were kind of, what were your numbers in Librix? Like, kind of how much were you making in terms of reselling a month? I mean, I know you focus a lot on drop shipping, which is our other aspect of the group. But like, what were your numbers like in the group exactly? It's something you remember with us.
For bricks specifically, all I can say is I started out with literally no knowledge of bricks. I was clueless. Like, I was just lost. I was a lost puppy. But then, like, the first month in, I didn't even commit my full time to this. I really didn't. I met with Vic a few times, and I'd say within the first month, I went from 0 to 500 in brick sales. And I mean, I know that's not enormous numbers, but for me knowing nothing, 500 profit. For me knowing nothing to that, I'd say it's definitely nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. Well, and that's what it is, guys. It's a process. Reselling isn't like, hey, I'm going to jump into a day one and make some money. It is very hard as a beginner, even as an intermediate, really scaling up. And, there are different plateaus, right? If you're a beginner, you're like, where do I get my sneakers from? If you're intermediate, you're like, how do I, sell them for max profit? If you're advanced, how do I grow my Instagram to get, a bigger, audience, bigger, reach, and, hit more customers, followers, that kind of stuff. So there are different levels of stuff you can focus on. That's kind of what we do, is to bridge the gap. So I mean, I wanted to kind of hear from you, RX, in terms of members in the group, kind of those who, make sales, diversifying, kind of what is the importance of diversifying? Because we always say, hey, sell on Instagram, sell your stuff on Goat, sell your stuff on Amazon, sell on eBay. Like, what's the benefit of that? And kind of like, how does that tie into, like benefits across each one? Like, what's your stance on that?
Right, yeah. I would always say that we always encourage people to never look at StockX first thing. We like to cross-list everything from eBay to local.
Instagram is where
just
you
kind of
can really
compare
make that money, because
the amount of profit that you can
run
get,
story
the
sales,
you can pull,
sell
because,
pairs locally,
if you're listing something on eBay
you save up on the
and
shipping
you're
fees,
pulling,
as well as the fees
maybe
that
$20, $30 profit, that same item could be undercut, to the bottom on StockX. So, it really depends on your margins as well as the platform that you're running on. And in the sense of, getting your Instagram page up, having that credibility, Instagram is where you can really make that money, because when you run story sales, sell pairs locally, you save up on those fees, you save up on the shipping fees, as well as the fees that the third-party platforms take from you. So it's huge in that sense, I'd say.
Yeah, and you can set your market, right? The thing is that you imagine the different demographics, go to selling to resellers or, scalpers, that kind of thing. But when you go on eBay, when you go on Instagram, you are selling to generally, maybe any consumers more so than not. So if you have your, your like Chad or your Karen wanting to buy a pair of sneakers, they'll pay the moon on Instagram versus, your average reseller on StockX, maybe will pay a little bit less because they're like, hey, I can get this pair cheaper here, or I know a guy who has a pair, right? And, another big thing about Instagram that I want to talk to you about, RJ, is, wholesaling, right? Getting stuff in bulk with, bulk resellers. That's one great way to kind of do it, is through Instagram, right?
Yeah, so wholesaling, actually, I'm a little confused. You just mean wholesaling just through Instagram, in the sense buying bulk, selling on your page?
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it in my opinion. Having that page, having that credibility. You want to sell 30, 40 pairs in a go or buy 30, 40 pairs in a go. Having a big page, having that network build up is kind of the best way to do it. In your opinion, would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, no, 100%. And it also it helps because if you have a page, because I know I'm guilty of this too. Because say I'm not a sneakerhead at all, I don't know anything about sneakers. I don't know what StockX is. So if I like this guy who sells shoes on Instagram and he offers me this really cool looking pair for, let's say, I don't know, Jordan 1s for $400 when I could easily go to StockX and get them for 300. But just since I didn't know about StockX, I was just an everyday non sneakerhead seeing this guy with these pairs, and I thought, oh, that's cool, and I like this guy. Let me just go ahead and buy it from him because I don't know how to do the research. And I mean, I'm not saying there's a huge market of people like that, but once you get to a certain size page, people just people will buy. People will just buy to buy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If you guys like, hey, how do I get into bulk? How do I start buying bulk, selling bulk? It is hard to do that, across platforms. You can obviously have stock-based bulk shipping, which is cool, but that's a bit harder for everyone to get into. But if you get your page built up and you have a bunch of cool pairs, like how can I sell all 30 pairs in a go? Right? It's a hassle, shipping one pair off to go, one pair off to go, one pair off to go. Versus if you get your page built up, with the correct growth, with the right amount of followers, you get interested customers, consumers, or at least those who can possibly be customers or consumers, and then filter them through your system, captivate their interest, say, hey guys, this pair come in our story sale. That's one great way to really get business, story sales. So RX, you kind of run subscription gigs. I've seen you do story sales in the past. Has that really brought in your customers more so than traditional posts, or you kind of recommend Instagram resellers to kind of do story sales? What's your stance on that?
I would say story sales are huge. That's actually what brought me up to 1,000 followers initially. Because with story sales, you can drive engagement out by giving away that pair. People are going to be waiting. You can say, oh, I'm going to drop this pair for free at 5 p.m. or whatever. You run the story sale. You post all your items up, and then you have the free item. People have to go through your story so they see what you're selling. That just drives traffic to your page and also the items you're selling. And they might be in it for the giveaway. They might share that post, but when they're going through your page, going through all the items that you're selling, they might come up on a pair that they actually want to buy. So that's a sale on your part, on your end. So
yeah,
I'd say it's really huge to utilize story sales.
Yeah, and the thing is, as when you're reselling, it applies to every single aspect. You have to give before you can receive, right? If I'm working at a store, I want to, work with a consignment store, I have to give them good deals before they, give me good deals back, right? I have to give good deals to my customers, my followers, before they give me, their money, willingly, right? That's kind of how it has to work. Giving away a pair. I know a couple guys who kind of work with, and I've seen already do on his page as well with, reselling is, high value posts and good pricing. It isn't about making the maximum back to begin with. It is about making your followers interested in what you're doing, right? And that applies to every single aspect of social media. Obviously we grow Elite Bricks fully organically. So we hit like organic ads, traffic, reels, which is one way to do it. But if you don't have the follower base and the skill set, that's kind of really where you need the help and you need the guidance, the assistance, and getting those followers in. What can I do to get 2,000, 3,000 people? And that's kind of where RJ comes in, right? And the thing then is what do I do once I have these followers? RJ gives you tips and that kind of stuff, but you need the stuff to sell, right? There's no point having a page with high value leads, which is people pay $1,000 for to get these high value leads in any single industry, but where do I buy the pairs from now? What kind of pairs do my customers want? How do I orient the pictures? How do I title the caption? How do I use my hashtags? That's kind of where we come in and say, hey, RJ's giving you this great foundation to start with, all this stuff to work with. Now let's coach you here to get your page making actual sales with good quality pairs, sourcing them below market, whether you want to sell hype, semi-hype, or even bricks. I mean, I know obviously guys, hype sells best on Instagram and it gets the most value, but that being said, mids and lows get a lot of value as well. You sell linen mids, or even tan mids, sand mids, or those new red shadows that we had I think for $95 a few days ago on our story. That kind of stuff is great as well. It doesn't have to be just hype, and I wanted to kind of talk briefly about your kind of EB experience at RJ. I know you kind of did dropshipping with a bunch of, really like unhyped sneakers. Kind of how was that for you? And did it kind of, like change your mindset with sneakers a little bit?
Yeah, it really, it just opened up my mind to just a lot of just business lessons in general, in the sense how mainly, I'll just say what I dropship on eBay, a very large portion of it is running shoes. And I never in a million years would have thought running shoes are going to make me as much money as they do.
Right.
But now that I'm kind of getting more into it, it makes a lot more sense because as my eBay page grows, it gets more respected, it gets bigger, and then slowly and slowly, people just will start paying. As silly as it sounds, people will pay you more for the shoes just because of the convenience you give them and how big and respected your page is. Because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember this analogy I saw somewhere. If you think about it like this, someone could give you some miracle drug for $10, but it's a shady organization and you have to fill out like 35 forms to get it. Or you could pay somebody $100 and it's a highly respected organization and you only have to fill out one form and they just give it to you right away. So people really, if you have size, rapport, and just respect, people will pay the moon just because of who you are. But of course, you have to become a respected page first, and that's not an easy process.
Exactly. A great analogy is, why do all these influencers kind of have their own NFTs or they have their own like branding products? They can sell this stuff because they have that follower base. They have those, like for example, like the Instagram page Hoodville, they have like NFTs now for some reason. And I'm like, dude, the reason they're doing that, and the reason they can sell them is because they have that loyal fan base, that loyal customer base, and they're saying, hey guys, we're selling hot sauce, we're selling NFTs, and people are buying them, which is crazy. Like, that's a good model, when you're reselling stuff, if you develop that connection, and like guys, honestly, reselling is all a connection-based game, whether it's in-store, online, like, knowing the right people. I think, RX, we have a bunch of kind of members in Lead Bricks. Like, we know a guy now who is like a manager at a Foot Locker in California, like local to RX now. So we've helped him kind of scale up, and in return, he's like, "Hey, RX, I'm at this Foot Locker, I'll let you know when stuff's coming in." So it is about giving and going in this relationship, in terms of reselling, with RJ, whether it's through his giveaways, you kind of work with him, and he works with us, and we both give back to each other to really help each other grow. But when you work with us, you get this full package to really help you guys scale up, and that's kind of one thing we do in this industry that most other people don't do is give you every single tool, kind of every single avenue to really make money. Whether it's through Instagram growth, whether it's through, getting new followers and, working with people who know what they're doing and, are credible, because RJ is, one of the people I've worked with who, actually have a solid, honest, authentic business. I've seen a lot of pages out there that say, hey guys, giveaway followers will give you 1,000 growth. I get like 100. And I'm like, oh, can I get my money back? That kind of stuff isn't how we deal, how we work. So we partner pages that kind of, have that level of reputation. That's important with reselling, You never want to conduct yourself unethically. You never want to be in the position where you're selling fake pairs, selling, bootleg stuff. Authenticity goes a long way, because once you smear your reputation, you are kind of, setting yourself up for failure. So, that's kind of my final gist, guys. With reselling, Instagram is critical, and it goes hand in hand with having your sourcing down. So, I mean, I want to, obviously mention the deal we're having in the bottom there. We are reopening for membership in the next 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. We are obviously closed right now. But if you are tuning in, you're kind of like, hey, I want to get into it right now. We are running a special now with RJ, his giveaway thing. We're partnered with him to kind of help you guys get around 2K growth. And we're doing around a 20% discount on our VIP package. So if you are interested in that, either send me a DM or send RJ a DM. After this live, we kind of figure something out. But I wanted to kind of briefly hint upon, the sourcing aspect before I wrap up, let RJ and RX make their closing. With sourcing, RX, you've kind of seen our deals of the day, that kind of stuff. How much money can someone expect, make selling shoes on Instagram, especially, the kind of stuff we post on a daily basis? Like, what is their expected profit? Kind of how much can they make on, let's say, a weekly basis, an average resale?
You put in the footwork, you can easily make $500 to $1,000 in a week, easily. And we have members making up to 5 figures in a month, just off of our deals and links.
And it's pretty crazy because everyone starts somewhere, right? I always say the first month is the hardest month, and we do ourselves differently because we coach you along the way, right? That's one thing that no one else does in this industry is they can try to do it, right? They can try to do what we're doing and say, hey, we have coaching, but no one truly can, because no one really knows what we know. Like, RJ is obviously an industry expert in, Instagram. RX is an Amazon expert. I'm, kind of like mostly bricks, a bit of everything really, so that kind of stuff. When you work with people who know what they're doing and, are willing to give value back, that's where you really get success, because you have to work with industry experts, someone standing over your shoulder saying, yo, do this, don't do this, but, do this. Like I'm saying, hey, giveaways are critical to really growing your Instagram. And that's one aspect of it. Once you get the giveaways down, what RJ is doing, and that's a great deal for you guys to really help grow your brand. I know pages out there scamming kids, dude. Like, they charge $1,000 for, they charge $1,000 for 1,000 followers. I've seen that kind of stuff in the industry. So that's kind of stuff that people will fall victim to because they don't know any better. Because I want you guys to feel like, hey, Elite Bricks and kind of people they work with are fully honest. Our job is to give value back. Yeah,
charge for
That's the guy you got negated, right? RX. It's
yeah, my boy Justin.
yeah. So Justin actually in the comments, guys, is kind of a member of the group, and we gave him a brand negate for all of Nike and RX. I mean, how much do our ungates cost, and like what is the industry standard?
Yeah, so our ungates in the group are only $75. Industry standard is anywhere between 500 to 1,000. So you definitely could utilize that.
Yeah.
In our group, and we're like 5 for 5 in the past week. So
yeah,
we don't charge for a scamming method or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think RJ was looking at it in Amazon as well. So whenever RJ kind of gets some more time, we will obviously get RJ on Amazon, get him going there as well. Selling some of his, maybe viral TikTok, content or all that. But, it is important, guys, right? To, really understand the value you need to make, that 5 or 6 figure income, because it isn't hard to do it, with assistance, but it is very hard to do without assistance. You can say, I'll do it myself and try myself to grow organically, and you may succeed. You may hit an organic reel, you might hit a viral reel, that kind of stuff. That's great. But you don't know what you're doing, and you have a bunch of cool shoes. Why aren't you utilizing your resources correctly? You have a good page, you have a good followers. You need that direction to really get you there, and that's kind of what we aim to do. And so I hope today in the live, we kind of explain exactly why Instagram is important and giving some value back. Final kind of wrappers for me before I let the other two guys wrap up, then I'll give you my final statement. When you're selling on Instagram, it is important and it's great, right? You can sell with a high. You're sometimes selling to very high paying customers who pay the most, and then you also remember about fees. Really, you aren't paying that 10%, that 2.3% ACH cash out, that kind of stuff, and that isn't ideal for anyone. So you can sell at 160 and get paid out 160 versus selling 160 and paid out 135, 140, right? And that's important. That means that you kind of get those connections. You can maybe meet some bigger pages, get your sneaker meetups, develop a partner, maybe say, hey, me and this guy do business now, and that's important because maybe they have maybe they're a manager at a local store to you. Maybe you're a manager. You guys want to work together. Maybe they work at UPS and they give good labels or they scan for you for free. That kind of stuff can happen, right? And the way you network in sneakers is through social media and through Instagram primarily. You can go on TikTok, like RJ said. You can develop a web, which is cool. I mean, RJ, like TikTok doesn't hurt you, does it? It's kind of it's kind of a good thing to really supplement your game, right?
Yeah, no, TikTok will never hurt. There's nothing wrong with having a video go viral. I mean, you know what I mean, but
yeah, like I'm sure everyone feels good when they say, "Oh, I got 1 million views, like I got 500 views, like 100,000 views." Like, oh, that's crazy, like it builds your confidence up, guys, because whether you're a TikTok star like RJ or a sneaker reseller, you do have to have that confidence in the game, because reselling isn't just strategy. It definitely isn't just capital. I'd say it's around 40% strategy, 40% confidence, and around 20% capital. I think that's 100%. I think. I'm right. I didn't do that. I think
that's 100. That's 100.
All that stuff is important, right? You can't just say, "Oh, I got the capital, I got a strategy." It's cool. If you don't know, if you can't buy fast enough, if you don't know when to close a deal, you're like, "Oh, is that a good price? Do I take it?" That's going to hurt you, right? So that's kind of RJ's example. He's gone out there, he's built his social media presence up really well, and now he's giving back that value because it is important. You have to develop that connection. RJ's kind of an epitome of how you should be running your social media. That's kind of why he's running this giveaway with us, and we're saying, hey guys, we want you guys to work with RJ as well and work with us because it is important. And RX, I mean, you've obviously kind of seen members in the group. We kind of have engagement groups as well, and people reposting their stuff and comments and that kind of thing. And one big thing, guys, is we do this cool thing with our posts is when people post their best pictures in the group, we kind of share them on our posts. Like I think that guy who had the Red Thunders RX,
oh yeah, that was a great picture.
Yeah, like 56 pairs of Red Thunders. So we do showcase you guys as well because you guys want to have your success out there and help you grow as well. So I guess RJ, thanks for being on, man. I want to kind of let you close really quick, explain the parameters of the giveaway again. And guys, if you don't really know RJ, don't know who's at, please direct your stuff towards me, and I'll kind of connect you guys, and we'll get going from there. But RJ, brief synopsis, kind of what the giveaway is and how it works, and I guess we'll close from there.
Yeah, so quickest explanation I can give. So guaranteed growth is 2,500 followers, and how that works is I have my big pages, and what I do simply is I buy a pair of shoes. I believe for the next giveaway I'm going to be doing, I said I'm going to be doing dunks and, a skateboard. What dunks? I don't know, but I know they're definitely going to be very high value, very, very wanted dunks. I'm thinking Strange Loves, maybe, I don't know, but don't hold me to that. But regardless, it's going to be a high-value dunk. And what I do is simply, on my page, I unfollow everyone I'm currently following, and then I follow everybody who's purchased a slot in the giveaway, hence the name Required Follow Slot. So, I have the people I'm following, and then what I do is I post my giveaway, and it's free for the public to enter. All they have to do is follow everybody that I follow. So through that, that's how everybody that gets a slot gets that organic growth, and you know it's in the targeted niche that you want to be in because my page is in that niche. And I also promote the giveaway on a lot of pages. I kid you not, like I said before, I think every sneaker media page will have this giveaway up on it. So the same thing's gonna happen. It's the same scenario there. All the sneaker media pages followers, they see the giveaway, they follow everyone they have to follow, so then they have a chance of winning free shoes, and the pages everyone has to follow benefits because they get followers of people who are interested in shoes and in their niche. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. Kind of, it's a weird concept to grasp your head around, but guaranteed growth is 2,500 authentic, real followers. That's what I personally guarantee. That's what I like. That's what sets my page apart from other giveaway pages. But it's more expected that you'll gain around 3,100 depending on the size of your page. And that's pretty much how it works. If you have any more questions, like Vic said, just DM him or me. And I guess the best closing remarks I could give is Vic did an excellent job, but I also just want to add that I am a very new person when it comes to coaching, but I've been doing it for a few months now. And I kid you not, it has just changed my life. Like where I am now in the 5 months I've been getting coached, as you call it, I don't think if I wasn't getting coached, giving me 2 years, I don't think I'd be where I am now. Because literally what a coach is somebody who's done what you want to do. And I don't want to say they grab your hand and like just walk you through it, but they pretty much essentially just, it's like they hiked a trail in the woods and they know where all the things, like all the bad parts are, and they know what to do when a certain thing happens. And they just walk the trail back, meet you at the start, and just bring you with them as they go through it again. It really is just a wonderful thing. And Vic, with his brick and just shoe knowledge overall, me with my social media and TikTok, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So awesome. Thanks, RJ.
Yeah,
Like we
100%.
said,
So
it does
like
come
you
beautifully,
said,
guys. Whether it's
social
social media and,
engagement
having the
group where
sourcing,
you're
knowing
just
what to
starting
buy.
out on Instagram
I want to kind of go to RX really
just join
briefly.
the group.
RX, you kind of
Super
obviously,
new to reselling.
have seen the
We're
success in the
basically
group, the
getting
stuff we're
in
buying,
on
and
this
also, run your own
engagement group,
social media brand as
get
well,
everybody to
for some
like,
kicks.
comment,
So
follow each other.
you want to kind of
It's just
briefly,
a
like,
good head
wrap up,
start.
summarize,
If you don't know
how
what you're doing,
Elite
don't know
Bricks
what to
works
post
together
up.
with social
We
media,
do
kind of the
weekly
pairs we give
lectures as
you,
well in terms
how
of
you plan to
social
sell them on
media,
there, and, the
helping you
connection
out
kind of
on
growing while being
how
in
to
the group
build
as
a
well,
page,
tied into
make it
social
look
media.
aesthetic, make it look
Yeah,
trustworthy and
100%. So
everything.
like you
So
said,
yeah, I
we
would
do run
just
a
say
social media
Elite
engagement
Bricks,
group
if
where
you
if
do
you're
want to
just
get started
starting out
into
on
reselling,
Instagram, we have people
definitely get
that
that
just joined
page
the group,
going.
they're super new to
We do also
reselling.
provide graphics
We'll
as
basically
well,
get them in on
in-house
this
graphics.
engagement group,
If you do need
get
a profile
everybody
picture
to
and
like,
whatnot.
comment,
But
follow each
yeah, I
other,
would
and
just
it's just
say
a
that
good
social
head
media,
start.
it's
If you
key.
don't know what you're
These
doing, you don't
days,
know what to
for a
post up.
business,
We
it's
do
a really
weekly
good
lectures
blessing
as
to
well
have
in terms of social
in
media,
terms of marketing
helping
and
you
everything.
out
So
on how to
definitely
build a
utilize it.
page, make
It
it look
can't hurt.
aesthetic,
Your business
make it
can
look
only help you
trustworthy and
grow and get your
everything.
name out there.
So yeah, I would just say Elite Bricks, if you do want to get started into reselling, definitely get that page going. We do also provide graphics as well, in-house graphics, if you do need a profile picture and whatnot. But yeah, I would just say that social media, it's key these days. For a business, it's really a blessing to have in terms of marketing and everything. So definitely utilize it. It can't hurt your business. It can only help you grow and get your name out there.
Yeah, exactly. RX makes a good point. Guys, with the day we're in right now, it is a mostly digital age, right? 10 years ago, Instagram wasn't getting you sales like it is today. And as we keep getting more digital, more digital, more digital, you can have local meetups through OfferUp, Facebook, but, at the end of the day, everyone wants the most convenient solution, and that's, just doing stuff online, right? So that's why having a program is absolutely key. And, like I said, RJ gives you the growth, and then we kind of take the growth and say, hey, let's move to the coaching that we have that RJ mentioned, kind of where we took, RJ, you did drop shipping and bricks, right?
Yeah, I did dropshipping and bricks. I did end up focusing more on dropshipping in the end. If you guys join, you'll meet Caroline. She's amazing. Definitely schedule a one-on-one with her. But yeah, they taught me about dropshipping and they taught me about bricks. And it was what's even better about it. What I loved is I had the liberty to kind of see what I like more, see what kind of worked better for me, and then choose on my own to pursue that.
Yeah, exactly. And it is about being self-sufficient, but you also have your own choice, right? When we say we have like Vic with bricks, Caroline on dropshipping, RX and Amazon, we have guys, do retail arbitrage in store. So you can pick what you want to do. If you guys live in Orlando, Orlando or LA have really good in-store scenes. Like, hey, I want to focus more on store. You go get up the latest dunks, get the pattern breads, that kind of stuff, and then sell them on Instagram, right? And that's kind of where having the followers, the customer base, and setting your page up correctly really comes in there then, right? So those two things come beautifully. I always say reselling is a very, very big puzzle, and you have to have every single piece to hit 6 figures a year. We can give you guys, thousands of profit a day, but if you don't know how to sell your shoes, it's worthless. So you can say, hey, I want to sell them for lowest ask on StockX, or I can sell them for 30 over ask without fees on Instagram. So there's both aspects of that. And if you know and you have a coach to kind of tell you what to do, that's where we come in. Like I said, guys, we are closed right now for memberships over the next 3 weeks or so because we just really have a lot of demand. But we are running a special right now. We are opening up our VIP for 20% off. We normally charge 1,200. We're running 20% off that. Along with RJ's thing, and guys, send me a DM if you're kind of interested. Maybe you just want the VIP, or maybe you just want the giveaway. That's cool, right? Everything's fine, but investing in your business should never be an expense. It's always something that will build you up in the future, right? Imagine you're making $4,000 a month, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Is that initial investment really worth worrying about and being so hesitant to invest in, right? Because that's kind of how you think about what does it do for my future self? Not what does this affect me right now, but am I creating a plan, creating a system, strategizing, and help myself make more money in the future? Because if you have a mindset like, I don't want to spend, I'll do it myself. I've seen it at RX, I've seen it at RG, I've seen it as well. Like, people who don't want to invest in their business will never really make money. Like, saving the buck in the short term is not really getting you buck in the long term. It doesn't work like that. RX, you've coached a bunch of Amazon guys, they're like, I'll get it by myself. Like, does it really work for them? Like, not really, right?
No, it doesn't work at all in that sense. And I always tell them, like, you might have to put a little bit of money up front, a little bit of capital, but it is an investment. It's an investment in your business and yourself. So it's really worth the time and money.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I want to close, guys. Like I said, once again, thanks RJ and thanks RX for kind of hopping in and having a very similar name, so it's really easy to speak. What is it? Send me a DM, and I'll try to explain to you kind of our yearly thing. We give you like around 6 months, and a bunch of coaching, custom bulk sourcing, and you do kind of get benefits as well, such as access to giveaways. It is for slightly lower price, general people out there. So you do get a bunch of benefits. Imagine like you're working with the biggest sneaker reselling service globally. We are the biggest. We have Asia, Africa. We're considering going to Antarctica, but we need someone to who sells sneakers there. So if you guys are in Antarctica and you're tuning in, whatever time it is there, let me know. We'll take you immediately, a free Antarctica member. So yeah, guys, it is a very holistic thing, and that's how reselling is. But I hope we gave you guys some value today and kind of told you how to use Instagram correctly, how to tie it into sneakers. Why investing in your business is critical. I never want this to be a sales pitch kind of thing, because I think those of you who understand the value, I don't even have to sell it to them. You guys understand, hey, I want my business to the next level. I want the set to make sense, and I want to work with people who know the industry. Versus you want to do it yourself, which is totally fine. At the very least, I hope we give you value today. Giving you some tips, how to use Instagram, how to use TikTok, how to structure your posts, how to buy sneakers. Jason, I made back on Gage today with those. He made that back in the day, right? And paying his on Gage, that's another benefit, right? So we do kind of give the value back in a sense. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like I said, if you are interested in the giveaway with RJ, around at least 2.5 to 3K growth for a very industry fair price, kind of like our ungating, send me a DM, or maybe send him a DM. If you want the VIP and the giveaway special with VIP 20% off, it's only $1,200 the whole year. Send me a DM. And like I said, guys, don't let the numbers scare you, no matter if it's the giveaway or the yearly VIP thing. For us, we were making members making 500 a week, pretty simply. And RJ, you guys making $30, $40 a sneaker sale per post. The followers really come in there and give the value. So if you want to make money long term, you do have to invest in business. Like any industry works like that. Why do they pay analysts thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions a year? These big firms. Why do they pay data trackers, data analysts? Because data is important. Having results is important. But more importantly, having the foundation is important. Right? That's one thing I've seen. We've been around for like 2 years now. We're by far the oldest. Anyone who's a competing service either copying us or wants to be us, it's pretty simple. We've seen so many leakers out there and that kind of stuff. It's crazy, but the thing is, guys, you have to work with the best people out there. I don't want to sound pretentious, but I love bringing guys here to talk to us. Their authentic experience, because RJ obviously worked with us, and we work hard now because he's really good at what he does with social media, and we're good at what we do. So we could be frame ourselves with other authentic, honest people, because that is something RJ probably agrees kind of lacking in the industry nowadays, isn't it?
Oh, there's countless, just due to the fact of how many false giveaways there have been in the industry. I'm not going to say a name, but there's one big guy who's really screwing it up for everybody right now. I've seen it affect my giveaways to an extent I really never thought it was going to happen, because it's just to the point where I've gotten the amount of comments or DMs I've gotten, like, is this real? How do I know you're not a scammer? It's just, compared to what it used to be, even like 5 months ago, it's just astounding. It really is.
Yeah, guys. So it is difficult maybe saying, hey, I want to work with these people, but I hope putting our faces out there, explaining how we work, kind of makes you guys more comfortable. if you guys do want to talk to me more about it, we do have a cold book link in our bio, like Calendly, and just book a call with us. I can talk to you guys about the giveaway, talk to you guys about the Libras, how we kind of work, if you want more information, because I want you guys to feel like, there are no doubts in your head, because you're investing in your business. It isn't just like, buying a bowl of Chipotle, or, freaking, I don't know, buying a C4 energy drink, which I was drinking during the Instagram live. But it is important to understand what you're buying into, right? Having trust in the people you're working with. And imagine, like, you're buying a house. You want to understand that the house is this, has this, or buying a car. You want to have the same kind of trust for your business, what will I gain from this? So I hope I kind of convey that value, and you guys can see, hey, this is worth all my time, my investment, I really want to scale up, because with us, I know I'm looking for a while, I kind of have this bad habit, so I'll wrap up soon, but, with reselling and with everything in terms of, the sneaker business, you have to, have high ambitions. I don't want to work with, maybe I don't want losers. Like, sorry, I mean, that's kind of how I sound. If you don't want to invest in your business, you aren't serious about putting the time in. It isn't just money, guys. It's time, right? It does take time to get coached, understand what you're doing, and having a mindset that people know more than you. I know I used to be I used to think, oh, I was really good at what I'm doing. I work with guys who are 1,000 times more experienced than me, even smarter than me. And I'm like, hey, that's great to have that coach, because now they can tell me how to better myself. And like, that's something I understand. As a reseller, I'm like, my knowledge even though is really high, and same thing with artists, guys always know more than us, right? So being able to, the mindset of having, willing to learn and willing to expand, willing to really scale up is what comes in with reselling, kind of what we want to give back. So like I said, guys, my final remark, thanks again, RJ, thanks again, RJ, for kind of tuning in. You guys have any concerns or questions, you either book a call me or send me a DM for the VIP, which is 20% off, and then obviously running a special if you join the VIP, and also do RJ's thing, and you can send me a DM as well. But once again, guys, thanks for tuning in. We are opening up memberships in the next 3 weeks or so. So either send me a DM, get a wait list, or if you love what you heard today, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We go way more in depth in the group. So yeah, once again, thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks RJRX for kind of working with me over here for the longest kind of live, and thank you guys. See you next Friday.
Of course. Have a good one.